Hello and welcome to today's Leadership Satsang. I'm your leadership coach, Yukti Mehendirata. Thank you so much for joining in. This is a live YouTube today, and I am very happy, excited, and curious to know what are some of the questions you have on your mind that I can take up. What are some of the challenges that you're facing in your life, whether personal or professional? Because any challenge that we face will always challenge the leader within us and our ability to be able to deal with those challenges, right? So every single time you learn how to overcome a challenge, you've learned how to lead in a better way. And hence, it's everything that we go through and experience in life has a direct relationship with leadership, our ability to lead. So let's bring that on in today's challenge, in today's episode, in today's satsang session. Feel free to put down what are some of the questions you want to bounce off. But before we do that, we will bring ourselves into this moment completely. And what's the way to do that? You can put it in the chat if you know, and if you've been part of these satsang sessions, you know what is it that we do every single time we meet. Before we go deeper, we need to bring ourselves into this moment completely. And that's what I would encourage you to do along with me. Please, let's together chant Om 5 times. So for that, make sure you scan your body, check where you're sitting, be as comfortable as you are, ensure your spine is straight. I'm just going to readjust this a little bit to see if this works better. Yeah. And keeping your spine straight, relax your shoulders, let go of any stiffness. Take a few breaths in and out before we start the chant together. Let's do it. Close your eyes, please, and take a nice deep breath in. And breathe out. And breathe in again. And as you bring your attention to breathing, please know that till such time you're breathing and you can, everything else is figured outable. No matter what your problems are, no matter what the challenges are, there is always a way out. There is always a solution to every situation. All we need to do is to get access to that inner reservoir of resources. The resources that you need to deal with those challenges. They don't come from outside. They're right there within you. So when you close your eyes, you disconnect from the world outside and you reconnect with the world inside of you. And you truly get access to that reservoir of resources, where you cut down the distractions which you create when you keep your eyes open and look within to find the answers, to find the solutions, because they're right there within you. Take another beautiful breath in and breathe out. And let go of whatever has happened in this day today, whether good, bad, ugly, whatever it was, it was. And now whatever is right here, is you, connected with your breath, with your prana, with your Shakti. Take a nice, beautiful breath in and breathe out. For the next few seconds, quickly scan your body to let go of any stiffness anywhere. See if your forehead is completely relaxed. Your face, your neck. Relax your shoulders. Relax your spine. Relax your legs. And allow the breath to flow in and out effortless. It's no effort at all. And you're still there with it. Completely with it. As you take the next breath in, we'll chant Om together 5 times. Again. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And whenever you're ready, please rub your hands together, gently placing them on your eyes, your face, your neck, shoulders, and your entire body, and slowly come back. Wonderful. How are you feeling in this moment? Let me know in the chat, in the comments, how are you feeling right now in this moment? And where are you joining me from today? Which part of the world are you in? Are you here 100% with me? So give me 100% and your location in the comments, please. Yes, that I can welcome you all to this live Q&A and take up some of your questions, see what's blocking your way, what's coming in your way. I'm feeling relaxed, so good to know that. Thank you, Rajamani, Naveen. Welcome to the session. Thank you for joining in. Wonderful. That's Indiran. Okay. Indiran from Bangalore, 100% here. Fantastic, Naveen. I hope you're here as well, 100%. I'll be here 100%. Super. Wonderful. All right. Bring it on. Tell me, what's on your mind today? What is it that you would like to explore with me? What's that question looking out for an answer? What's that situation that needs to be solved, that needs to be looked at right now? Give it to me in the chat. In the meantime, I'll also quickly look into some of the questions you have sent through email. Okay, got it, Indira. Got it. Yeah, Tanya's here, 100%. Fantastic. All right, so I'm just quickly looking at the list of questions I have from some of you who've written to me. You can write your questions to me on email, Yukti, YUKTI, @sbyacademy.com. That's my email address. Always open for you all. So any challenge that comes your way, feel free to write. It's better to write it in the last week of the month so that I can bring it up in the Tuesday session. Yeah, all right. So let me see if there's a question I see in the comments. And if not, then I will pick up from one of the questions I've received on email. Okay, so we have a question from Indiran here, and he says, I have a challenge to manage my emotions when I deal with critique, when I deal with criticism. And Tanya is asking, how do you stay motivated in tough times? Some brilliant questions coming in. So let's take the first question first. And the question is, how do I deal with criticism? That's a very important space to explore, to understand, to prepare yourself for. Why? Because as we grow in our career, as we grow professionally, as we grow to become a better version of ourselves, the criticism will only increase. Why? Because you're more in the spotlight. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The more you put yourself out there in the spotlight, the more visible are your imperfections. And do we all have imperfections? The answer is a big yes. No matter how much we work on ourselves, we will always have a few more imperfections to deal with. And that imperfection is what makes you perfectly you. Does not mean that you accept it and, compel the world to deal with it. No. If you know that these imperfections are not working for you, you work on it. But please know that your imperfections make you who you are. It's a part of you. The less we struggle with that, the easier it gets to deal with it. Right? If you're struggling, you're spending all your energy in that struggle. So we need to direct that energy towards dealing with it, towards working on some of those imperfections which are coming in my way, which I need to willingly work upon. I'm willing to look at those imperfections and go beyond. What do we need for that? Energy. So instead of struggling with the fact that we're imperfect, we accept that and conserve that energy to work towards overcoming these imperfections that you want to overcome, And some of these will come across as criticism when it is visible to other people. Now, I want you to look at this situation in two ways, Indiran. Okay. The first is to know that people are a reflection of who you are. Whatever you see in people is what you see of yourself. Now, this might sound like a spiritual philosophy, but there is enough and more research and study done to prove that the lens through which we see the world is the lens that needs to be corrected, not the world. The faster you get this, the easier it is to know what to deal with, because then you're dealing with the wrong thing. The question is something else, and you're seeking something else. Here, what we're looking at is, how do I clear my lens through which I see the world? Instead of working on that, what are we working on? Changing the world to our convenience, right? The way we want them to be. Has that ever worked out for anyone? No, it is not designed to work out ever for anyone. It just makes no sense. So in the same way, what people see in you is also a reflection of them. What they criticize you for is a reflection of them. But let's not worry about them for a moment. As much as I say that, and it's true, let's look at what we can do. What's in our circle of influence, where I will bring you back again and again and again. Come back to the circle of influence. You will find your answers there. You will find peace there. You will find strength there, because there is a sense of control. You can only control what you can control. You can only control what you can do or cannot, right? What you want to do and don't. How you feel or not. Those are the things that we can control. So now let's look at this criticism coming our way. How do I deal with it within my circle of influence? Let me first listen to it and see who's sharing this. Who is very important here, right? You don't need to work on every criticism that comes your way. Let me say this loud and clear. I believe in being very, very practical. And when I say practical, it means that as much as spiritual philosophies and principles should guide the way we live, because they make us a better person and give us a better life to live, we also need to know what to be mindful of, what to work upon. Every feedback that comes your way does not require an action plan. Every criticism might not have that amount of truth to it. So who is giving this criticism to me? Is this person someone who has spent enough time with me? Is this person who has seen me in action in that part of my life where the criticism is directed? If the answer is yes, then it's not about whether I like this person or not. It's about having the courage to listen to the criticism as a feedback, as something that I need to probably look at and not jump into action immediately. So that jumping into action is proving, and no proving is required when you're working on feedback. So what you need to do is have that emotional maturity to detach your likes and dislikes about the person and look at that criticism as a standalone, as a voice coming to you and saying, Indiran, I think you are very immature when it comes to dealing with team matters. Okay, let's take that as an example. That's what you hear. If you get stuck with, oh, this person is saying this because this person doesn't like me, because this person is not a good person, you're gone. You're letting go of that opportunity to see your blind side. We all have a blind spot, all of us. And that is why this whole journey of self-awareness is a journey for life. It's work in progress forever. That's the best part about it, if you ask me. It's just so much fun. To keep discovering the real you till your last breath is a life worth lived. It's a life worth seeking. It's a life worth living. You understand what I'm saying? That's the real purpose and essence of life. It's not about all the materialistic pleasures, which could be an experience, and experiences come and go. But the essence of life is to know this person who is living it. And so these kind of opportunities will help you see what you are not able to see by yourself, your blind spot. So somebody comes and says, hey, you know what? You don't have the emotional strength to deal with team dynamics. And that might be a direct conflict with what you think about yourself. But remember, there is a blind spot. So you look at it and you say, all right, interesting that I'm getting this kind of a feedback, which is not aligned to what I think about myself. But then I don't know everything about myself. So question mark, I'll bring you back to that question mark, right? It doesn't have to be the right feedback or the wrong feedback. It's a question mark. In the middle, I'm thinking about it. I'm processing this. I'm not resisting. I'm also not accepting. I'm processing. So I'm listening to this. And the first thing I say is, I hear you. Thank you for sharing. That's all. And then I take it back with me. And then I see, where is this coming from? And if I'm not getting that clarity, I ask a question. I ask this guy, hey, you know what? It's interesting you say that. Can you please help me understand this with some example that comes to your mind? And the person will say, oh, well, it's almost every time I see that the team comes and shares something with you and you just get emotional about it and you challenge the policies and you come back asking for favors for your team members. That's not a sign of good leadership. That's not, you need to have some emotional maturity and understand that you can't get carried away with what people want. You can't give them what they want all the time. You're getting some more understanding of where that perspective is getting developed. You getting what I'm saying here, right? Then you look at another situation, because if you stick to only one situation as an example, what will your mind do? Very quickly defend, because that's what the mind knows best. The mind is trained to help you survive. Survival requires being safe. Safety will encourage defense. Defense means walls up. Now, when the walls are up, there is no openness, right? You are guarded behind the wall. There is no openness to understand and listen. And if there is no openness, you will not look at the blind spot. So, long story short, a simple step-by-step process of dealing with criticism is right here for you. Number one, see who is sharing this information and this giving you this criticism. Do not connect your personal liking or dislike for that person. Just make sure that the person has enough time spent with you to be able to comment on that part of your life. That's number one, very, very important, right? Somebody who's never worked with you or has never seen you working with your team cannot give you a valuable feedback or can never say anything of value related to how you deal with your team, because they've not seen you in action. They've not been around. They've never worked with you. So it's an irrelevant comment. And to that, you just say, interesting that you think that way. I hear you. Thanks. That's it. Do you need to work on it? No. Do you need to say anything? No. Hear it and let it go. एक कान से सुनो, दूसरे कान से निकाल दे. Hear from here and let it go from there. That's it. Why? Because the more you grow in your career, the more of this noise coming your way. We need to learn how to filter information from the noise. Everything being said does not require action. So that's step number one. Step number two, if this is the right person who has enough experience to be able to make such a comment, thank that person for sharing and ask questions for more clarity if required. Can you please share a few instances? Not one. Can you please share another one, such instance? Just for me to understand this better, can you please tell me how and where do you see me behave this way? And the third is, do not jump into any quick action plan in that moment. Because if you do that, you're proving yourself and you don't need to. You need to do something in a way that is thought through so that it is sustainable. If we try to do something to prove to people, we cannot sustain that behavior. So there will be no consistency. And then we land up hearing from people, you know what, you tell him to do something, that day he will do, next day again he will not do. Do we say that about a few people? Yeah, the day you shout at him, he will do everything right. And then in a week's time, the hangover is over and you have to shout again. Why? Because there is no sustainability. There is no sustainability because that person has not taken it into their system and processed this. They have just jumped into action to prove. Proving will not be sustainable, cannot be sustainable. If you want to create that consistency in your behavior, you need to allow that to go a few levels down. Understand where it's coming from. Do not take it personally. It's not being said to you as who you are as a person. It's being said to you as what you do as a person. And these are two different things. Who you are and what you do are two different things. Because the moment you understand they're two different things, the person that you are can decide anytime whether to do it again or not. Whatever you do in terms of action or behavior can change whenever you want to change it. Isn't it? It's not who you are, it's what you do. It's not who you are, but the way you behave. And the day you want to change that behavior, you can. Till such time you don't make this into your own identity. I am being criticized. No. There is something that I did that's being criticized. There is something that I do that's being criticized. And so let me listen to what that criticism is, because that's the only way I can reduce this blind spot more and more and more. And the lesser it is, the more is the space for openness. You getting what I'm saying? This openness of who I am and the way people understand is the same. That is openness. This is what I think about myself. This is what you think about me. And it's the same. That's the openness I'm talking about. So the more we are willing to listen to this without making it into a personal attack, the less defensive you will be. Please know that we have no control over how people say what they do. And that's what hurts. What hurts is not what is said. What hurts is the way it is said. But again, it's not in your circle of control, your circle of influence. Would it help to think about it, sweat over it? Maybe not. If the other person is willing to listen, maybe your feedback from your end at some other time will help. To say, you know what, I have seen you sharing some amazing feedback about me that's helped me to work on myself. But I would love you to say it more gently if you can. It's just easier for me to process it. You will not say it that in the moment when you're being criticized, right? Because then it's giving back. Then it is not even reaching out. But you will find your own moment to be able to say that. Having said that, you should also have that spiritual muscle within to be able to go beyond the how and look at the what, because that's your interest, the what is being said. And then I process it. And then I decide if I want to act upon it. And if I will, that action, that change, that shift will be a sustainable one. That's what makes me better. That's why feedback is a gold mine. I hope I've answered your question. And I'm so happy that you asked such an amazing question. I love the question. I hope it's reached out to you. And then please give it to me in the chat if it has been able to reach out to you. The more you work on your self-esteem, the less sensitive you will be. Sensitive to the how people speak to me. If that hurts you a lot, and if you find yourself too sensitive, please know that it's the self-esteem that's low. I need to remind myself of who I am, my mettle, my strength, my worth. And then every passing wind will not bruise me. You understand what I'm saying? Right? And that takes time, yeah? And you're working on it. I know that. I know that you are working on it. And I hope that everyone listening to this is also willing to work on this, work on yourself, to be able to build that bulletproof inner core that cannot be rattled with one passing comment. You cannot let that one instance just take away the peace for your entire day, and sometimes days and weeks and months and a lifetime. Is it worth it? Is a question to ask yourself. हाँ, बोलना आसान है, करना मुश्किल है. Of course, अगर आप कोई चीज कोशिश ही नहीं करोगे तो मुश्किल तो होगी. If you're not going to try it, it will be difficult. Yeah. If you didn't try driving the car, it would be forever difficult for you to drive. Forever. You will find other people driving so easily. It's a task for you. Why? Because you just didn't have the courage to sit behind the wheels and get the damn car out and practice and practice and practice till it's not difficult anymore. Building your spiritual muscle takes exactly the same rigor. So let's just keep this thought aside forever. That all these things are great philosophy, but you know what? It's always difficult. It's always this way. It is this way because you've chosen it to be that. It's you within your comfort zone. And from there, you can sit and cry like a victim. Or you can choose to step out of your comfort zone and move towards growth, towards victory. From victimhood to victory takes effort. Nothing comes in easy. Nothing you have achieved till date in life was easy. Do you agree? Give me agree in the comments if you agree. It was never easy. You can now write your entire CV, your bio data, with your list of achievements, and look at each and every one of them and tell me that this one was very easy, Yukti. It was a piece of cake. Nah, nothing was. It took a lot of effort, a lot of determination from your end. You did put in that effort. And so you enjoyed the benefits of it, isn't it? What is the benefit of being oversensitive and pleading and requesting to people that please don't be rude to me because it hurts me and I don't know how to not be hurt? Is it their problem or is it my problem? And the day I understand it's my problem, I know that I can find a solution. I can work on my inner strength. I can remind myself that just because you call me lazy doesn't make me lazy. What are those instances, situations where you found me to be lazy? It's just that situation alone. And then there are many other situations where I was not lazy. So everything said about me is not a personal attack, no matter how it is said. If you can build that strength, then nothing can stop you from enjoying the real essence of life. And to my mind, that is success. More than anything else that you can achieve. This is true success, the true sense of freedom to live completely without wanting to know what the next moment has to offer, but just being willing to, accepting, immersing, soaking yourself into it. You see? And it's not about being scared of the next moment and hoping it to be happy. Happiness is in acceptance. You will not always have happy experiences. But you don't have to get stuck with the ones that are not so happy. Don't get stuck with any emotion, whether good or bad. Allow it to flow, because that is freedom. That's the real understanding of living freely. When no one experience or emotion can make you feel stuck. You don't get stuck. You've allowed the flow because you've experienced it. And it took that effort for you to let go of those gates. But once the gates open, oh my God, you have no idea how life can feel. And you have felt that, by the way, in moments. In moments, you have felt that. And then you've come back to your comfort zone. It's not a one-way thing, you see. You step out a little and you see that you could do it. This was awesome. And then your comfort zone will suck you back in. And then you go out again and you see, okay, there is effort, but I achieved after the effort. And then the comfort zone pulls you back in. When this pull becomes weaker than your own push of going ahead, that is where the real magic begins. I hope I'm reaching out to you all. Please let me know in the comments. There are some amazing comments here and a lot more questions than I can take in this very little time we have together. But I'm going to make a very quick comment in the next 5 minutes to kind of have you take back something from this session today. How do you stay motivated in tough times? Motivation is about knowing the purpose with which you do what you do. Listen to this, write it down, Tanya, and see what it means to you. Motivation that is sustainable is always more intrinsic than extrinsic. the more you seek it outside of you, the more difficult it will be for you to stay motivated. And that is why there is this whole spiel about discipline being more important than motivation. Why? Why? Because discipline is intrinsic, completely. If motivation comes from within, it will forever be there. And how will it come from within? When you know the purpose with which you do what you do. Think about it, Tanya, and give it to me in the comments if something's opening up for you as I share this. All right. How does a leader become a leader who people follow? By qualification, work, knowledge, example, support, or selfless work? A leader becomes a leader who is followed when he is not worried about the followers. I'm not playing with words here. I'm telling you something straight up. Something very, very meaningful. Think about it. You are a leader if you're not worried about how many people follow you. Because when you're not worried about that, is when you actually worry about what matters. You think about what matters. You take the next step forward. You see, if you watched any documentary on Gandhiji, any, there are multiple versions of it. Watch carefully this time. Go watch it again, Naveen, okay? Any Gandhi documentary, go to that point where he initiates Dandi March. You know what he does? He comes out of his cottage and he walks. This is one thing that you will see common in every version of Gandhi's life. He just comes out of his cottage with a stick in his hand and he walks. And he walks and walks and walks. And he just keeps walking. And people behind just keep following. And those followers were just a few in the beginning and then become few hundred and few thousands and then so many that we lose count. But not once would you see him turn back to count the number of people following him. This is something that social media has introduced to us. Isn't that true? So we are becoming more and more mindful about followers. We have made that into a success metric. It is our KPI, key performance indicator, that I am doing something meaningful in life because I have 1 million followers. And if I don't have 1 million followers, what I'm doing is useless. That's become a criteria of success. Does that even make sense as I say it? It's not making sense to me when I hear myself say that, but that's what we are dealing with. That's what we've made into our mindset. If you're a true leader, you just keep walking. And whoever you're resonating with will follow. It's not about the number of followers. And when it's not about the number of followers, then you are worth following. Tell me if that resonates with you, Naveen, and if that's opening up something for you. All right. Thank you so much. There are many more comments and thank you so much. Give a beautiful answer. Thank you, Tanya. What an insight. Thank you so much. Never thought that way. I'm so glad that something's opening up. I'm so glad that you have the courage to ask some real questions. These are not on the surface questions that you put out today. This comes from a lot of depth. And that's what excites me because it takes me to that depth where I know things will not just open up, but will stay opened. Will help you to fall deeper within yourself, fall in love with yourself, with this person that you are and this person that you are becoming. Thank you so much for joining in today. I am so looking forward to putting out another important insight in the space of leadership and spirituality for you all next week. So please do look out for that. Until then, take very good care of yourself. Thank you. God bless you all.